Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us for another episode of the Daily BizLink. Jane Cebrynski is back, and we're continuing our conversation from last week, really focused on the tools that you need in order to start delegating and deleting items from your calendar. Jane, thanks for being here today.
Good morning, Lindsay. And of course, that is always a very challenging topic, but we're going to, try to break that down a little bit and see if we can give some help. So first, give me a 10 moment.
My 10 moment is actually kicking off later this afternoon. I was nominated for an Athena Award for the Young Professionals category through the Phoenix Chamber. So we have a little get together this afternoon for that, which I'm really looking forward to. So definitely a 10 moment for me.
Yay, congratulations. That's awesome. Very well deserved, I might add. Well, I thought we'd continue our conversation regarding stats because that is a tool that is a benchmark tool that we use for not only time management, but energy management and emotional management, and just figuring out, are we living that 10 life? And what I love after our conversation last week, I got so many text messages from people saying, here's my 10 moment. I had a 10 moment. And this morning, somebody texted me and said, today I'm making it a 10. And I love that it's catching on. And I love that people are beginning to practice. It's really simple, but it does require practice, just like anything else.
Absolutely. So I know delegating and deleting stuff, especially for a lot of us, I think that's something that we tend to struggle with. So as we kick off today's conversation, what should we really be focused on as we're looking to improve and create more 10 moments within our lives?
So we talk about the range of the stats being 1 being low and 10 being high. And our goal is to strive to live in that 8, 9, or 10 zone. So we've talked about that. And not only personally, but professionally and philanthropically. Well, within any given day, we know our stats are going to be low. And so any stat that is 3 or below, so something that you look at and go, that's a 1 for me, or that's a 3 for me. We use the term cardio. So not in the literal sense, but if you think about it in terms of performance, cardio is anything you don't really want to do, but you need to do it to get to that 10. So for an athlete, it might be, a certain type of exercise. I know I hear from some of my athletes, suicides, those running drills that you really can't stand, but they're going to strengthen your cardio. They're going to, literally strengthen your cardio. They're going to strengthen your legs, and they're going to help you to perform better, but you don't really like it. So we call anything that is a low stat that you don't want to do, but is important for performance, cardio. Now, the thing about cardio is you don't want to put any energy behind it because that takes away from your performance. So we just acknowledge like, oh, this is cardio. So within any given day, it might be, I often hear answering emails is cardio, or for some people, it's that doggone CRM, inputting the information into the CRM. So we don't want to put any energy behind that. And remember, every thought, every action has a consequence for positive or negative impact on our performance and our energy level. And we recommend from a time management standpoint, have a little bit of cardio in the morning and a little bit of cardio in the afternoon, because you don't want your whole day full of cardio. And that's why it's really important to stat it up and kind of pay attention. Now, anything that's just a low stat, the question becomes, can I delegate it or delete it? And that's the real challenge, because most of us, I think, feel, number one, we can't delegate anything. Well, if we have a little bit of control issues, maybe. But really, what can we begin to eliminate? It's not helping our performance. It's really weighing us down. It's not cardio. In other words, it's not going to improve my game any. Can I delegate it or delete it?
It's getting back to that question of what's in it for me. And if really there's no benefit to it, then maybe it is time to start delegating or deleting it.
Well, if you think about it from a performance standpoint, right, it's really about how can I perform at my very best? And so here's a perfect example. Moving a meeting today, meaning in today's world, takes up so much energy. And if you really just think about it from that standpoint in terms of the number of emails you have to send back and forth to say, okay, well, are these times available? And oh, sorry to move that. Well, wait, let me check with so-and-so to see if it's okay with them. I mean, it takes up so much time and so much energy. So number one, you know, are we having meetings that are really necessary, that are really improving performance? And are we really managing our time in such a way that we are in control of that? You know, in other words, do we have people that are constantly changing meetings on us, and is that necessary? You know, what can we do differently to sort of take back that control and that power?
And I'm so glad you brought up that specific example, because that was one thing that I personally struggled with. I noticed throughout the course of my day, like I loved scheduling meetings, and I had actually going to meetings or setting up Zoom calls. Once I was on them or in those sessions, those were 10 moments for me because I really enjoyed them. But setting up the meetings, that would just suck up so much of my time and my energy throughout the day. And so I found a new concept. I use this application called Calendly, where it allows me the ability just to send people the links, and then they can schedule it, and it eliminates all that back and forth. And that allows me to focus more of my time and my energy on the things that I'm really excited about. So that was one tool I know you taught me, and that's gone a long way throughout my career.
Well, and I think too, you know, do you have the ability to delegate, you know, that task or that responsibility to somebody? And again, I realize that not everybody has that, but again, it's about challenging ourselves to think a little bit differently, and also to really, really push ourselves to go, you know what, have I just been trained this way? And the idea of delegating this or deleting this just feels uncomfortable to me. Or is it something that I really, really, really need to keep on the calendar? And you started to become super aware of your energy and how it was affecting your overall performance in the places that matter to you, being intentional in those meetings, being on purpose in those meetings. I mean, that's what really started to drive it for you.
Absolutely. Well, that whole concept of I was doing cardio for too long of periods of time. And we all know when we're running on that treadmill for too long, eventually you're going to fall off the thing if you push yourself beyond your capacity. And so I learned the importance of getting off the treadmill before that happens.
Well, and it comes back to really taking a step back, statting up your day. So what that means is literally look at the different tasks, responsibility, and if you can bucket them, and ask yourself, what's my stat on that? And if it's in the middle of the range, you know, if it's a 4, 5, 6, or 7, ask yourself that question: how can I elevate the stat? If it's low, ask yourself, is it my cardio? In other words, I don't like to do it, but I've got to do it. Don't put any more thought or energy into it. Just schedule some time in, block it out. And then if it's a low stat, challenge yourself to delegate or delete.
All right. Well, this sounds like a good challenge for everybody over the course of the next week. Jane, is there anything else you'd like to add or share with our audience before we wrap up today's conversation?
No, but you know, just one thing I'm really starting to notice is people seem to be coming back to life a little bit. And what I really want to encourage is, if anybody's curious about getting coached, I'm just getting this strong sense that people are in this space now to like really reboot and rebound. We've gone through the trauma, if you will. We've settled in maybe some rituals and routines that, you know, haven't been working for us, or the kids are going back to school. And so I just want to encourage anybody who might be even remotely interested or curious about getting coached. Now is such a fabulous time to really be going for something different in our lives. Reach out. Can't hurt.
Jane, thanks again for being here today.
Thank you, Lindsay. Stat up your day.